Hey everybody, this is Nathan Carroll. I'm back again with another Breakthrough Learning presentation. This one today is going to be on professionalism, attire, and online events. Okay, so let's get started. This is our another post in our Breakthrough Learner series. And this is a really important topic. You might think, duh, of course I dress appropriately, but I've seen it time and time again where somebody will think they're dressing to professional standards when they are actually kind of not meeting those standards, or their conception of what those standards are doesn't really match up with what the prevailing perception of what those standards are. Also, we're going to be talking about online events and how to interact professionally during them, and some of the pitfalls people run into when they jump into a Zoom meeting. So let's get started. So first of all, professionalism. Why is this topic important when we're talking about attire and online behavior? Why do we need to cover this? Well, like I said before, people kind of have mixed perceptions about what that means, and it's really important that we're all on the same page when we're talking about professionalism. You may be an absolutely wonderful person, but if you mess up your chance to make a first impression, you often won't get a second one. And at best, when you mess up your first impression, you're going to spend a whole lot of time fighting the wrong battle. You're going to be fighting a battle to make a new impression instead of reinforcing your first good impression. And so we don't want you to have to deal with that. We want you to make that good impression right from the get-go. So a lot of what you're about to embark upon if you're pre-med is all about perception. Are you perceived as a serious candidate? When you have a patient and you're a doctor and you first walk into the room, that patient makes a judgment about you in seconds. And that judgment is, hey, can I trust this person with my life? If they, if you don't present yourself professionally, you've already damaged your relationship with the patient from the get-go. We really need to be certain that we're not confusing good looking clothing with professional clothing. You could dress really sharply and it could be an impressive outfit that you've put together, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a professional outfit. Something that works really well for going out to eat isn't going to work so good during an interview, not necessarily. So first impressions, like I said before, very, very important. There's one research study that says within 33 milliseconds, an individual makes a judgment about the person they're talking to just based on facial expression. Now, if you put facial expression with the way you're dressed, there's a lot of things an individual's assuming about you in a fraction of a second. So I've created a little test here, which you can give to yourself to see if your attire is professional attire. It has 3 steps. 1, is your attire at least business casual? 2, is your attire not risky or provocative? 3, could you wear the same piece of clothing if you were running the place, if you were the president of the medical school, if you were the top person in the hospital? Would that attire fit you? Is it the type of attire an individual like that would wear? If you say yes to all 3 things, then congrats, you have a professional outfit, you're good. If it doesn't fit all 3 things, then you gotta really reconsider your clothing choice. And for number 3, I don't mean an expensive ensemble, I just mean a professional looking ensemble. So let's move on to online meetings. With COVID-19, we've seen a really accelerated and drastic shift from in-person meetings to online meetings. And it's virtually, if not completely, every meeting right now, during the fall of 2020, in the summer of 2020, in the spring of 2020, that has occurred has been online. And it's probably going to continue for a little while. Maybe next year when we're talking about the application cycle of 2021, there might have some in-person meetings, in-person open houses. But for now, everything's online. And it's even hitting us medical students. We're interviewing for residency spots. We're doing residency open houses all online. But this means that a lot of people have to adjust to the online environment. It's important that you don't let your guard down when doing online meetings, because a lot of people do that and it's to their own detriment. So how do you professionally present online? We'll go over some key slides next. Pro tip, always wear pants. That is something I should hope goes without saying, but you never know. All right, so professionalism in online meetings, virtual backgrounds. I like them. If you haven't figured it out already, this is not really the see-through office, but I use them for this environment. However, if I was to have a meeting with a residency director, if I was to have a meeting with anybody at my school in administration, if I was to have a meeting with a patient, absolutely with a patient, with anything which I expect to have a formal environment, this would be gone and it would be a nicely made up background in my own home, or at least a wall, just a solid color wall. Something simple, something professional, something where you're not, like my hand is right now, disappearing into the background. And it's distracting. It doesn't look professional. Nobody really thinks you're on the beaches of Palm Springs when you throw up that beach background. Or overlooking the sea, the Golden Gate Bridge. Just eliminate them. Don't even go there. If you absolutely have to use a virtual background, something like this is better than the moons of Jupiter or some bizarre, surreal landscape. Keep it simple. If it's simple enough, you might actually be able to get away with it, especially if you don't move around too much and you're disappearing into the background. And in some situations, you may have to do that. You may be in a situation where there really is not an appropriate background or an appropriate area, or your computer table is set up in an area where the background isn't great. In that case, keep it simple. Google realistic Zoom backgrounds, and you should get a whole bunch of things which are just nice little simple offices, nice little simple workspaces. Now, what I would recommend, if you're really going for gold here, is to organize the space behind you so that it is an area that sells you. So put up your awards, put up books you like, put up things that you want to talk about. If you have a picture of you getting in, becoming an Eagle Scout, put that up behind you, because the people who are talking to you, they're going to notice that stuff in the background, and it's really going to sell you how impressive of a candidate you are. And it doesn't have to be the Nobel Peace Prize behind you. Just anything you got. If you got a black belt in karate and you got a certificate, throw that up. If you got a trophy from high school sport of some sort, throw that up. Just sell yourself with the space behind you. Bonus tip, make sure your video off. Photo is something professional appearing, good looking. A nice photo of yourself. A lot of these things just display your name, and that's kind of boring. You'll really stand out if you have something nice and professional appearing right there. Definitely don't put an unprofessional photo up there. It'll be worse than nothing at all. Okay, let's move on. Clothing. So all of the rules apply that we were talking about before. Dress professionally. Again, that's you can look at the charts we have. Just rewind a bit. At the very end of this, I'm going to show you where an online article is. So there's a nice scale of what constitutes professional versus casual clothing. In fact, let's look at that real quick. So here's a scale of formality. I would say the 3 on the far right, don't dress like that. You'll look like you're crazy, or that you're going to the Met Gala or something. It's not the look you want to go for. Top hat, that doesn't work here. And that one guy, maybe the two guys, smart casual, casual on the far left, yeah, that's not going to work either. That's good for vacation, not so good for an interview. The sweet spot is the third one from the left and those three, from business casual to stroller suit. That's how you want to dress. Fortunately, these are all men here, but the next image is good for everybody. So business attire versus casual business attire. Business professional versus casual attire. When in doubt, go professional, always, rule of thumb, in person-to-person meetings and in virtual meetings. When in doubt, go there, unless you are explicitly told otherwise. If they say, hey, just dress casually, they're not trying to trick you. However, still dress appropriate casually, like a polo shirt or something. Solid colors, jackets, ties, bow ties, all good. Let's get back down to the side we were at before. And of course, don't wear any hats. Like this I would not wear to a professional meeting. Don't wear sunglasses. Don't wear extreme jewelry. Don't look like Mr. T. No offense to Mr. T. I love him, but don't dress like that to your med school interview. You're gonna have to explain it. It's just, you'll be on the wrong footing. You don't want to be on the wrong footing. Also, filters. Be careful with your filters. The filters, the meetings you have are not the time to start looking like a sparkly-eyed pixie person. You want to be very careful with any goofy settings. There are some exceptions. Zoom has a really nice complexion filter. You can turn that on and it just kind of cleans up any blurriness in your face. Things like that are fine, but don't go overboard. Err on the side of caution and use nothing as opposed to going overboard. So this isn't going to change. We're in the new world of online meetings. A ton of money, millions and millions and billions of dollars has been invested in infrastructure and organizational changes. They're not going to say once COVID goes away, hey, let's go back to what we were doing before. No, they're going to figure out how to use the stuff they just put all this money into. We're already seeing that with hospitals. Things are expanding with telemed and online meetings. Interviews, I mean, it's a great option. Instead of having to have the person from Alaska fly to Florida, you can meet them online. You got the infrastructure. Everybody's comfortable and trained with it now. So expect this to stick around. So do yourself the favor, put in the work, make sure you know how to present professionally, both in person and online. Don't sabotage yourself. And that concludes our talk. Before I go into my little pitch at the end, let me talk to you a little bit about where you can view this material in text format. We have a BreakThru Learner series. I'm going to stop sharing here and I'm going to switch over to, let's see here. Okay, so our website is pbthru.com. What you're going to do is you're going to head to our website, and you don't even need an account for this. But what you're going to do is you're going to look for our blog posts up in the top left. Click on whatever you're interested in, or if you just want to go through all the blog posts, go to the BreakThru tab up at the top, then go down to blog and just click blog, and it'll pull everything open. We're constantly adding new blog posts. We have this BreakThru Learning series. So anything with BreakThru Learner, give that a click, and that'll pull up this exact lecture, but in text form. One thing that I didn't have a chance to go over is that we do have some extra tips here. One I didn't go over was that make sure you have a good webcam. You definitely don't want to use your phone for these meetings. Make sure it's a steady webcam unless you want to make them all seasick, which I don't recommend for your interview. Make sure it's something good, and don't buy it last minute. especially if you're watching this video in 2020 and it's the fall or the winter. Webcams are hard to find. They're not hard to find if you order them online from a place, but if you go out to Walmart or Staples, it might not be there in time if you have a meeting that afternoon or the following day. Give yourself plenty of time, order that webcam in advance. So we have a whole bunch of tips here. We have all our breakthrough learning series up in text form in addition to video form like you're watching now. Take full advantage of it. So that wraps up our presentation on professional attire and online events. We hope that you found this helpful. And if you have a chance, swing by our website at pbthru.com, create a free account. We're all about mentoring and breaking down the barriers between you and getting into med school. Our website is very proud in that we are where mentoring happens. So until next time, see you later.